obtainable for a very long time. Like we say, Nigerians enjoy up to 24 hours electricity. But if they say those in Band A actually enjoy that privilege, that it means something is not right. We should be able to enjoy electricity nationwide, and everybody should be able to enjoy, because we all pay tax. But that is not the reason why we are looking at that today. But we want to know, why should the government increase electricity at a time when Nigerians are going through hardship? And how has this affected business, especially medium-scale business, those who do minor or small-scale businesses and need electricity to survive? Now, to look at that, we have a guest already seated in the studio. Is a public affairs analyst and our regular in-house analyst. A very good morning to you, Garos Belulu.
Thank you very much for having me.
All right, we'll be having an economist joining us via virtual later in the program. The economists will be putting discussion on the implication of this on businesses. But I will start with you in the studio. The announcements came as a shock to so many Nigerians. We never expected that, but even though we're seeing increment in electricity, but not at this magnitude. What was your reaction immediately you heard about the increment?
I am not surprised. The reason why, because immediately the president took over, His Excellency Bola Ahmed Tinubu. The day he took over, that is why I say fuel subsidy is gone. And since that time, even tomatoes that you want to buy 500 now is about 6,500. A basket which you are buying 1.5 now is expensive up to 20,000. A bag of guinea corn is 70,000. A bag of maize is 20,000. Rice is 80,000. Sugar, this fasting one we are fasting is 80,000. So the way I don't know how this government, they do their things without considering the masses who vote you, whom you tell they should give you Nigeria, and you will handle it, and they will enjoy it. What I hear people say, it is not for all Nigerians. Does it mean we have a second citizen, a first citizen in Nigeria? Are we not all Nigeria? You can be prisoner, I can be prisoner, I can be governor, you can be governor. So, as far as I'm concerned, that light is for everybody. You can't tell me it's for the other people who are enjoying it. Nobody in Nigeria is enjoying a light of 24 hours. Nobody in Nigeria, I put it to anybody. When you will inside villa, they will take a light. You will inside government house, they will take a light, and you are telling me it's for another citizen. As far as I'm concerned, when Tulumasis come out, this one is no matter of a protest. A protest is vote. Let us forget about these people. They are deceiving us. When they come, they want to come of this thing. If they join for Muslim ticket, the last one, any mosques, you will see them till the end of the election. You know they see them. I don't see them again in the mosques. If they say, nah, Christian, they will go for Christian. Say, this one is from so side. This one is Hausa. This one is Fulani. This one is Orobo. Unless we masses will. Poor party don't know who be Fulani, who be Orobo, who be Hausa, who be Yoruba. Everybody, they feel them now. So unless, look at what Senegal did. The opposition, they remove him from a prison and he contests. Because they are too down to have popularity, you don't go prison tired. But our own opposition, the only opposition during election. When the election is about to come, they will now be going TV, put themselves on popularity.
But the issue of electricity, I know, did not just start with the present administration. We've been having this cry for a very long time, increase in tariff when we don't have sufficient power supply.
That's what I'm saying. We don't, our vote we are voting, we still don't learn where we are going.
Is it by the votes, or is
it
that we don't have the manpower to
produce enough? From Obasanjo was the head of state, he became a president. You understand? After him, Eradua, may so rest in peace, is a governor, he became a president. Jonathan was a governor, he became a president. President Muhammadu Buhari was the head of state before he became a president. Present president was a governor of Lagos State, he became governor. The person who contested for Labour Party is a former governor. Person who contested under PDP is a former vice president. So all those people, they are people who have ruled before. They know what is the rule. Unless if we go out from these people, tell them, say, we are not after religion, we are not after traffic.
Well, how does that connect to electricity? I want us to restrict our discussion to electricity.
because the people are not caring for the masses. They are coming with wealth. They are not poor. You don't expect somebody who doesn't have anything in his house is using 30, 40, 100 car in his house. The compound is more than this your compound. Then you expect the person will have sympathy for masses. You only have sympathy for during campaign. After the campaign, when you call him, he switch off, and you cannot even reach him, unless we get somebody who have masses at hand. And this thing, if you want to do it, 2027, if we are alive, let's take somebody who have never tested this seed that I mentioned. A neutral person, they are there. We have them who are having repetition. I can measure, look, now let's even take categorically the governors, performers of the governors as whole now in the northeast as whole. The best is Zulu. If you take southwest, throughout to the time they finish south, the best one is the Mr.
I don't want us to
the thing is charging my brain.
Let's not debate from the issue we are looking at. And then you can
see the light.
I understand that leadership has a role to play in all this, but let's just restrict our discussion to the present discussion on electricity. If we're saying that we don't enjoy electricity for 24 hours, and the government went ahead to increase tariff about 255 naira or thereabout per kilowatts per hour, and then we are saying that it's not everybody. Now, what could be the reason why we have these band distributions, band A, band B, band C, band D, band E, like what we have, instead of having it that the entire nation should enjoy electricity as a whole?
That is what I've seen. I say our leaders, they have second citizen and the third citizen and the fourth citizen. Me and you, as a poor people. Otherwise, the light is supposed to be for everybody.
So what's the impact of this now? Because
this part of the part, they don't have sympathy on the masses. That with this problem we're having to feed is a problem. Once coming, and then they increase the light, how will you get the light? How? Then the point is, do you know those people, how do they survive? And then you come, then they come out again, tell you, say, it's not for everybody. Okay, it's not for everybody. Doesn't mean I'm not entitled to get that light. Because as long as I cannot meet up with what they say, I may not get a light as it was before. Because as I'm telling you, me, I call those electric distribution, I call them blackout. You cannot use light more than 10 minutes. They will take it in your house, where they will bring a bill of 300, 400. And you will see, oh, you buy the card, within a short time, the thing, you will see a red, not blue again. And then they will bring you will go buy another one again. And you will not see the light. Nobody is seeing light more than 10 hours in his house. 2 hours, man. You are talking of, it's not the reason, it's 24 hours. As far as I'm concerned, the light, people should have sympathy on the masses. And this issue is everybody right, everybody vote. So if I vote, you vote. I support to enjoy the dividends of democracy. I support to have, if I'm going market, we go the same market. We have the same light. We buy the same fuel. You can't tell me this is because I'm a poor man. The light is different from, which means I will see light in your house, me I will not see light.
Okay, all right. I'll just hold your thoughts there. We will go on a quick short break. I will return. The discussion continues. All right, it's still the program this morning on ITV, and then joining us now is another guest, someone who is passionate about electricity consumption or electricity customers, as it may be. He is Comrade Goswill Okore. Prince Will Okore, sorry for that, Mr. President, Electricity Consumers Associations of Nigeria, FCT. Thank you for joining us on the program.
That's a wrong introduction. I'm the president of Association for Public Policy Analysis.
Okay, fine. We'll correct that very soon. Sorry for that, Mrs. in representation. But I know you've been passionate about electricity for a very long time, especially those in the FCT who have been following your antecedents when it comes to electricity. The new tariff. You've been on the program severally and you've talked about this, and this recent one. I don't know how you took the news when that came out.
The new tariff they have brought out, I'm not surprised. because the regulator has always been quick at increasing tariff for consumers, but has been slow in implementing or enforcing consumer protection components of the Electricity Act. So what they do, what I see in the system is impoverishing the consumers, impoverishing them to fund the sector. And it's very bad, it's unprogressive, it's wicked, it's destruction of the economy. Because if you look at what is happening, you said you are increasing by 300%. We raised an issue the other time. If you look at the initial tariff increase they made earlier this year, or last year, if you look at the presentation made by the discos, one of the issues there is that they want to recover money to pay loan. In 2020, CBN brought out 96 billion naira as loan to enable distribution companies give meter to Nigerians under the National Mass Metering Program. Now, how many consumers got the meter? Consumers didn't get the meter, even in FCT here under AEDC. How many of them got free meter then? Now, what you are now saying is that you want to increase tariff for the people who didn't benefit from the loan to pay money that you used to pay back loan they never knew about. It's oppressive. Now, look at the mass metering program that is on now. It said that when the consumer pays for meter, he will recover through energy credit. How many consumers have paid for this meter? How many have been refunded their money through energy credit? Do we have the data? Now, when the discos, the NEC will always, Section 119 of the Electricity Act is on consumer protection and licensing performance standards. And under that section, it has to do with a provision of service performance standards. It has to do with handling complaints. It has to do with disconnection and reconnection. All these things, one is implementing them. Now, the worst is, if you go to the Ministry of Power, there is no department that oversees consumer protection issues. But you have a department on distribution, overseeing distribution for the distribution companies. You have a department for generation, overseeing their activity policy as it concerns the GENCOs. You have for transmission, but none for consumer protection. And the money that is funded, and the only reason anybody can invest in this sector is that they believe that the consumers will pay. So why is it that implementing the policy concerning consumers are not taken serious? What it means is that at the Ministry of Power, where decisions are taken on policy, there's no representation for consumers. And then you now come to NEC, you say there's consumer affairs. In the consumer affairs, when we raise issues bordering on oppressive attitude towards the consumers, NEC will tell you that they are at the middle. They are regulator. They shouldn't be seen to be siding consumers. But you have seen them implementing policies that favor the discourse against consumers. Now look at the issue of training. National Power Training Institute is there, doing training for distribution company staff, generation company staff, transmission company staff. Nobody is doing any training for consumer groups. Because eventually, if you look at Abuja now, there are neighborhoods that are paying for transformer pole wire, even pay for it to be energized, only for the distribution company to start collecting money. However, there is a policy on network expansion investment policy, which means that if the consumer pays for infrastructure, they are supposed to recover their money, but no enlightenment. But
I also want you to, before I go back to Gololo, I want you to still enlighten Nigerians on the issue of ban. Now, most persons do not know that they pay differently. Band A, band B, band C, band, I think we have like 5 bands of where electricity are being distributed. And now some persons will tell you that even those in band A would tell you they don't enjoy 24 hours light, and the government is saying 20 hours and above. Now, how do we arrive at this? How do we begin to understand that, okay, fine, we are, like he said earlier, we should be enjoying the same privilege as a country?
It goes back to what I was saying, enforcement and implementation of consumer protection component of the Act. If there is a unit implementing that policy, when they came up with this ban is not new. They come up with it about 1 or 2 years ago, but nobody knows about it. And there's no enlightenment. In Pape, I live in Pape here. How I got to know that Pape belonged to band A is that I had to go to their office to ask, what band do we belong to? The kind of billing you are giving us. They were reluctant in telling me. One said it's band A. I said, band A means we should be having 20 hours supply. And we don't have up to 5 hours supply in a week. You know, I raised the alarm. They increased supply that period and then went back. So the issue, who has the responsibility of consumer enlightenment in the sector? Shouldn't the consumers be enlightened before now? Now, they are at this band 8. They've been billing people in this area as if they are using that for 20 hours. Those in Energy, those in Mashafa, those in Ajegule, those in back of Crossroad, you have the poorest of the poor in those areas. And they have no meter. And they are billed as if they are getting like 24 hours, which is not proper. So it boils down to failure to implement consumer protection component of the act, which is deliberately done because they believe that if the consumers are enlightened, they will resist all these oppressive tendencies. Just like I was saying before. The same thing, if they had implemented the network expansion investment policy, most consumers that have invested would have recovered their money. If they are implementing the meter access provider policy, those that are paying for meter will recover their money. But all you see is that everything concerning consumers are kept down. And then the only thing they do is to keep making the consumers pay money, which is quite unfair.
Let me go back to Gorolo. Earlier, you were talking about the sincerity of the government in terms of these kind of policies. You try to highlight the fact that they don't have the interest of the people, and that's why we keep having this issue. But let's look at, just like you was trying to raise, the issue of consumers. How much enlightenment do you think Nigerians have in order to pursue such policy to make government understand that, look, you cannot force things down our throat at all times? We are not saying that we should protest or revoke some of this government policy. But at a time like this, how can we as citizens begin to let government know that, no, these things are not appropriate? He gave instances where people in rural communities are not enjoying this privilege, and yet they are made to pay so high for electricity.
What we have is that you see, if as a politicians and as the people we vote representing us, if we have opposition, me and the APC, if you have opposition who can oppose this thing in the National Assembly, they are presenting people, mind you. But we don't have any opposition. Anybody go there, they don't oppose anything. Anyone who contests for president, if you don't win, he will not talk till the next season. When he wants to go back again, he will be going station, radio station, polling unit, campaigning, checking the masses. After he checked them, he doesn't remember them. Look, this is the time the masses have to come out. This one is not matter of Hausa, Igbo, Yoruba. Every poor man is hearing it for his body. And you know what it is, because he cannot fit 3 square meters. Whether you are from the north, you are from the southwest, you are from anywhere, even in the Lagos where he comes, people are fit. While they are buying a rice, 80,000. Guinea corn, 70,000. Guinea corn that if they are selling burkutu before they give him mabo, they cannot give you. Look, let us tell ourselves the truth. These people, unless even we masses will come and group and say, forget about the region, forget about where you come from. Because they will use religion and confuse us. At the end of the day, nothing, they help themselves and their family. Okay, they said this thing, me I pay for the meter. For the 3 years I don't see the meter. And I pay, the meter is not free. Anybody tell you free is telling you lie. Me I pay. I don't see the meter and they are bringing bill for me. Then the one they come put, if I go buy the card, within a short time I will be seeing red. And I'm not seeing the light. 30 minutes talking of 24 hours. Now will be Baji A. Me, I don't know whether Baji A or I am, as far as concerned, no light. There is no light, and this thing, the increment they make is high. Masses are suffering. And that's why I want to support that time when they say fuel subsidy is gone. After the president do it, we wait for 2 months, 3 months, we don't see anything. We grew for fancy unity. Tell him, say, okay, the fire we are facing, we cannot fit 3 square meters. And you say the increment of salary is 30,000, living in Gogolada and paying 30,000 to come to federal secretariat. How will I survive with my family? How will my children go to school? Look, let us tell ourselves the truth. Masses need to come out. This one forget, whether you be man of God or you be imam or you know they go even anything or you are affected. Let's come out and tell the president, okay, this tariff, something must be done. The fuel subsidy, something must be done. Where is the money they are making for the fuel subsidy? Who is using the palliative? Okay, they bring student loan. Me and you, my son and your son, cannot go this cannot see that loan. What are the collateral of that loan? How do we get the loan? How do we get asset of that loan? Which bank? And then how much is the money?
They just pass bill for themselves and their family and these people that call National Assembly. This one they pass sticker. Formerly they say stuff. This one a sticker.
Okay, let me come back to Prince Will. I know that during the towards early of this year, we had that subsidy for electricity was removed. And now some persons are even alleging that the reason why the government is increasing electricity supply is for it to make more money and probably pay those who they were paying subsidy to. It's still an allegation, but when subsidy, was there subsidy in electricity? One, and then secondly, what is the connection between subsidy and then what Nigerians are paying? Look at what we had during the fuel crisis. Subsidy was there, Nigerians were not getting fuel. Until when the subsidy was removed, we begin to have availability of fuel. Do you think is a similar case, or that's what the government is trying to introduce into electricity?
My brother, this government wants to impoverish the people. Poverty has become a tool for the political class. It's unfortunate. Our Oga said he's in APC. When they were presenting these people for people to vote for, Nigerians you're talking about now came in mass and rejected them. Nigerians didn't vote APC like that. Why did it have to go through court process like that? Why were the security agencies under pressure to make Nigerians sleep in their houses rather than come out to say...
Well, our advice will restrict our discussion. So this is not a political...
No, he brought up that. So, what I want to tell you is there is no transparency and accountability in the sector. I don't know where the subsidy is. Government that is removing subsidy is subsidizing Hajj, Muslims Hajj. How much the government put in 90 billion, Abi? Or how much? They put
maybe you want to say something. Hajj is nothing like the social diet. No Hajj. You are paying 8.5 billion your money. So nothing like the social.
But they say government is bringing out that.
You don't have any evidence. Don't bring anything. This thing. Go to the.
But they said they brought out money. So
let's look at the subsidy in electricity.
If religion can enjoy subsidy, why will electricity that is empowering the people to be productive, creating jobs, not have subsidy? And then if there was subsidy, who benefited? How much was it? Who implemented it? There is what they call a consumer assistance fund in the act. Who is implementing the consumer assistance fund? If they are implementing it, we need to know. Now again, you ask, beyond the subsidy they are talking about, how much has World Bank put in the power sector? How much has USAID put in the power sector? How much has European Union put in the power sector? And where are they utilized? Well, okay, how much are the consumers paying? What is even the consumer enumeration in the country? According to the 11 disco areas, the subsidy they said they brought, how many persons benefited from the 11 distribution company areas? Because if there is, we should know. So there should be transparency and accountability. There are institutions of state that should do this. The orientation agency is there. Consumer Protection Commission is there. And then the NEC that keeps increasing this is out there. So there is need for probe. There is need for probe of utilization of funds in the power sector. How much has the international community put in since 2013? Now, there is what they call operational expenditure, which NEC approved for this distribution. For this year is 51.5 billion for AEDC. This operational expenditure is money that's supposed to use to repair transformer, replace poles. You can't see them do that. The consumers are the ones funding that. So where is the money utilized? For this 2024, the multi-year tariff order they brought shows that AEDC is having 51.9 billion on that. Then they have what they call CAPEX, capital expenditure. Since 2013 that they came on stream, this thing is approved every year. And there is money approved for them on metering. The money approved for them, which they should use to provide meter for consumers on annual basis. Now, how much are they, what are they doing with those funds? So when you don't see them utilize these funds and there's nobody talking to them, nobody putting pressure on them to do what will benefit the average consumer, they do what they like and now use propaganda. And the worst thing that is happening to Nigeria now is, you see World Bank and IMF, these international organizations that are ruining the economy of African countries, they are now raising civil societies that they give money. Okay. And they fund them to go and mobilize some people to support
All right,
whatever that
let's leave that discussion maybe for next time when we have issues to do with international diplomacy. Then we'll get you to talk more on that. But let me go to a little quickly before we wrap up this segment. You are on band A. Prince Will was trying to establish the fact that even those in Papi are also in that band A, but with the increments now, if you don't enjoy up to 24 hours and you buy your units for that high, how do you get compensated? Now, I know that NEC recently released a statement that some persons were included on this very electricity increment. They were fined about 200 million naira recently for them to pay back to those who were wrongly included in the increments. But now, how do we begin to
how do you get
synchronize this thing?
What asset will you use to get that money back? Even if you buy the meter, mind you put it in your house. How do you, the light, you may not get it up to 30 minutes. And
who will now compensate you on that?
And the cat is running. But you will not, me personally, I have 2 gen. 2 gen in my house because I'm not assured of the light. They can disappoint you anytime. So for you to have that distance, you must have a comfortable light in your house, and which is diesel, which is another good. You buy it in a high price. But the point is, they don't have anything to do. That is one. But I want to respond to principle. You say the president win election. That is why they announce it.
All right. Because of time, I'll just give you 10 seconds.
Next time, prepare your candidate.
Just to wrap up the discussion, can we get refunds for those who were wrongly included?
I don't believe it. I have already told you. The network expansion investment policy has not been implemented. Okay. Those who invested in infrastructure are not getting back their money. The meter access providers are not getting back. Thank you so much.
I'm already being signaled to end this discussion. We have to move over to our Benin network studio to join Mr. Sonny Duke for the continuation of the program. Thank you so much, gentlemen, for being on the program.